All right, welcome everybody. My name is Azul for Love, and thank you so much for joining this free masterclass to learn more about microdosing and the benefits and how this can actually support you in shifting your life and your reality. So we've done a little bit of a breath work. We've announced ourselves. We're present in the room. Just want to do a few housekeeping things. I will do my best to pronunciate and not talk too fast, but we do have a lot to get through, so I might talk a little bit fast. Also, I tend to use a lot of four-letter words, so if cussing is offensive, I just want to set a disclaimer right now. It's all in love. I'm not like a mean, nasty four-letter word or user, but I do use like the word fuck a lot, and it is very appropriate in some of the things that we talk about. So I'm very diverse, and so I just wanted to make sure that everybody's okay with that. And also I want to ask for permission. I am going to be doing my best to respect your time, because I very appreciate you spending this much time with me and being a part of this call today. And then also I just wanted to ask permission at the end of this call. Do I have your permission to share more about how what opportunities are available to work with me to go further down this rabbit hole of opportunity? If that's okay, I just want a raise of hands that you're okay with me sharing that information, and that I might cuss a bit throughout the call. I will. So everybody's cool with that? Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. We're all humans. And so this is, I haven't done a masterclass in quite a while, so I'm going to be doing my very best to hit on all of the key points. At the end, we will have Q&A, and then I also will share more information about what's going forward and what I have available starting in February. So just some things to kind of prime the pump as we're going into what microdosing is and the benefits. Some of the things that, if you resonate with some of these statements, I want you to really listen and allow your heart and mind just to relax. I know in these kind of settings, our minds can kind of get overactive and overanalyzing and trying to make meaning of things. And I just invite you to acknowledge that, because it's normal, it's human, and also to give yourself the space to just be open. I was in your seats not too long ago, and I've been on this path for over 10 years of deep dive healing and transformational work. And so I understand all of the feels you might be going through. So you're not alone. And I'm not dismissing anybody's feelings or any emotions or energies, because they're very real. And that's why I'm so passionate about this work, is because I do have such a close connection to the human condition and a heart to be of service. And I've gone through so many different things in my life, which I'll share here in a bit about my bio and some of my life experiences. And my life is very colorful and multidimensional. So there's probably going to be keys, parts that maybe you relate with all of it, or maybe just bits and pieces of it. So just know that I'm very human. I'm very real. And my heart is here to be of service of those souls that maybe have felt like they've been left behind, or are lone wolfing it, or that you feel like maybe nobody cares about what you're going through. I've been there. And so I've got you. I've got you, I've got your back, and I will fight for you. I'm Aries, so I'm loyal as fuck. And I believe in this program, and I believe in the benefits, and I believe in the power of what is here to be of service to us. So with that being said, if any of these statements resonate with you, just really like sink into that and know that you're not alone. This class might be for you if you are sick and tired of letting fear and failure of success and sabotage your life. If you've reached a plateau in your personal and professional life, but you know that there's more that you can do and that you can experience. If you're self-medicating or distracting with social media, Netflix, binging, shopping, porn, video games, food, alcohol, meaningless relationships, or substances, this might be for you. If you're tired of listening to the voice in your head saying you're not enough, that you don't have enough money, you're not attractive enough, and you're not smart enough, this might be for you. If you're resentful of yourself for people pleasing or putting others' needs before you, this might be for you. If you overthink or overanalyze or get caught in procrastinating, waiting for the right time to take the right action, this might be for you. If you're inconsistent in your comments, not able to uphold your new habits or follow through with your intentions, this might be for you. If you occasionally ask yourself, is this really all there is in this world, this life? And you suspect the answer just might be yes, this might be for you. You doubt yourself, your talents, and your gifts, wondering if you're fooling yourself into thinking that you have what it takes to have the life of your dreams. This might be for you. Your friends, you're friendly and you're coachable. This might be for you. And you keep a secret until I missed my question here. If any of these questions sound familiar, or if you resonate with any of these energies, please raise your hand. Awesome. Thank you. And I do get emotional because I'm an empath, and so I can already feel the energy that's in this space, the yummy opportunity and your hearts. So if I get emotional, I'm just feeling into what's here, the collective, and feeling into the opportunity for each and every one of you. Let's see, this also might be for you. If you're a healer, coach, yoga teacher, energy worker, or anyone else in the field of transformation, and you want another powerful healing tool to offer your clients. This also might be for you if you're starting a coaching business or you want a tool to build your success around supporting your friends and family. This also might be for you. You want to hold space for people and share your healing modalities. You desire a strong connection with your intuition and higher self and higher power. You desire to bring healing to the world and to be a part of healing trauma on the planet. You might be if you're feeling stuck in your life and you want a powerful tool to bring new energy into your life for creativity and more joy. You have been feeling like you may be a healer, but not sure where to start. You want a different reality and you're tired of practicing Groundhog Day. You love facilitating healing modalities and you want to expand your reach. This training might not be for you if you're not willing to put in some effort to support your life with the new tools of ways of being. This training might not be for you if you don't want to roll up your sleeves and do the actual deep inner work to heal from your past experiences. And if you have no interest in showing up for your monthly check-ins or weekly calls or accountability support, you allow fear to run the show of your life and choose to continue practicing the same behaviors, expecting a different outcome. Thank you guys for listening to all that. So a little bit about who I am, and then we'll get into what microdosing is. Whew. Got a lot of energy running through my system right now. This feels good. This feels really good. It's excited, and it's also like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this space is amazing. So who I am is I have been on this path consciously since I was 11. I got my life's purpose when I went to church camp and laid my sandals down at the altar and listened to the call of, you might be here to be of service if these things resonate with you. And I said yes to all those things. And I found myself at the altar. And I did grow up very religious in the Southern Baptist Church in the Midwest. And in that vision that I got was that you're here to be of service. Your life is to be a living example. And the road may be challenging, but I've got your back. And so then started my teens and then my 20s. And I found myself at 19 with a neck injury from a cheerleading accident, which opened the door for addiction to prescription painkillers, abusing that opportunity because of not knowing who I am. not realizing the gifts that I had, and that being an empath and intuitive and having a lot of clair gifts at that age. And I think that the neck injury kind of opened a lot of that up and started that journey. I didn't know how to navigate life. And at that point, I'd had several sexual abuses and some traumas. And so here I found this pill in this orange bottle that made it all go away, that made it all easier, that made being in social settings more doable. I'm more of an introvert than extrovert. And so social settings, unless I was on alcohol or pills, were very uncomfortable for me. So 19 started my journey with the cocktail of prescription drugs and whatever drink that I could have at happy hour. This didn't last very long. I went through my 20s. I started working with AT&T, moved from Lee Summit, Missouri to St. Louis, Missouri, became a manager of a team of 20 people that were probably twice my age, went through the deepest part of my drug addiction and alcohol issues, was very suicidal, and I was making close to 6 figures without a college degree and just starting at that company with AT&T at 23. And from the outside in, it would look like I had everything. I had a new car, I had an Amex, I had a corporate apartment, I had more money in the bank than I'd ever had in my entire life. Being the oldest of 8 children, we grew up in poverty and on food stamps. So I came from one end of the spectrum to the other without any support of understanding, changing my mind, understanding how to transition, how to accept and receive the abundance that I had created. So worthiness is a lot as a syndrome that a lot of us humans go through, that because of either our conditioning, our childhood traumas, or the way that our caregivers impacted us as children, if we don't have worthiness, where are we going to build from? How are we going to navigate the world when we don't even feel like we deserve to be here? When we question, why am I here and why are all these horrible things happening to me? So I truly believe that no human deserves to be abused. And unfortunately, that is a reality in our society. And so I've taken all of those opportunities, all of those experiences, and really made them my story wisdom. There was a day when I was the victim. Oh, this happened to me, and oh, whoa, this is happening to me, and this isn't my fault, and this person did this to me. But that only got me more of that energy. The moment I sat still, realized that all of these things, as horrific as they might have been, were here to develop me, to be my pressure as the coal is made into a diamond. So fast forward to 2013, I moved to, or actually 2003, I moved from Kansas City, Missouri to LA. I meet my second husband and we go on a journey. He is in a lot of ways like a angelic guru that I had no idea. I mean, he had his shit with, we both had our shit. It takes 2 to tango and to either make it work or not work. But I do truly believe that he was brought into my life for a very specific reason, to guide me and to shift me into the person I am today. So it just goes to show, even in those situations where you're like, fuck, that really hurt. Like, that was really traumatic. If you look at it and you look at the human that you are going through that and who you are at the end of that, those experiences are actually blessings. They're your teachers. We're calling in our guides and our teachers to support our development of who we are here to be our purpose. So Isaac came into my life. We moved to Miami. I was there for literally 2 years and was a walking zombie. I was on shitty weed that we could buy off the street. And I wasn't really getting back into the alcohol, but the new addiction was adrenaline. Adrenaline drinks, workout drinks, diet pills, anything that I could do to get me out of the zombie space that I was in. And I was in that space because I was running. I was hiding from my pain. I didn't want to face the traumas that I had. And I literally remember my hour-and-a-half commute from South Beach to Coral Gables, many days being just walking and just being like, what if I just jumped in front of this bus? Or what if I just jumped on in front of this train? It'd all be done. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to exist and not feel. And so I found the book, Eat, Pray, Love. And that started changing, that started shifting, that allowed me to have that flashlight that was only allowing myself to see what was possible in just this little frame, to just shift it just a tiny bit. And listening to that story and understanding that I related a lot to what she had gone through made me realize that I wasn't alone, and that maybe there was hope for me. Maybe I could find my own story and get myself out of this. So fast forward, I left Miami, went to LA, and in 2013 found plant medicine, did my first ayahuasca ceremony. And at this point I was 42 and had never done a psychedelic. The biggest thing I'd done is prescription drugs and alcohol and a little bit of cannabis. Well, a lot of cannabis in Miami, but it was shit. This was even before medical cannabis came out on the streets. So I was really fresh, like super sober, body was super clean. And through the ayahuasca ceremonies in San Pedro really supported me in being able to sit with my traumas, sit with the people that abused me, sit with the people that took my innocence. And I could actually sit in ceremony and call their energy forth and forgive them. Not all at once. I think I've sat in over 30 ceremonies, so this has definitely been a journey. And I truly attribute both the medicine and the integration that I was exposed to and that I sought out. And the medicine is amazing. And when we're really stuck, that is the key that can shake things up. It can be the shaking of the snow globe of the reality that you're tired of and letting you see that there's something else available. The integration, however, is really where the magic came from for me, because sitting in those ceremonies, if I didn't do anything with the information, then I'm just compounding more of the emotional shakeup, and I'm not doing anything with it. So my anxiety would get more, my depression would start coming back, my fatigue, my body pains. So your body will talk to you. When we are not listening and not healing those fragments of the childhood traumas that have created the reality in our life, if we aren't able to sit with that and love it and forgive it, it will always haunt us. And the medicine, I find, in my journey has been the part that when I was most afraid to face those big traumas, those big T traumas, the medicine was that blanket of the universe saying, it's okay. I got you. You're not alone. You did not go through this for nothing. I'm here. And the more I would surrender to that, and the more that I would listen and do the integration work after the ceremony, the more the demons just disappeared. The monster under the bed was not so scary anymore. So then fast forward to 2016, I moved from LA for some health reasons, moved to Grass Valley, California, Northern California, which is out in the middle of nowhere, was on 20 acres in the middle of nature. Decided just to kind of take a break from reality and society. And so I got to work on a cannabis farm, which the universe blessed me on that opportunity, met this amazing woman that's like a sister to me, Miss Linda. She's one of my earth angels. And so I got to work trade there. So literally I went from almost $2,000 a month in overhead, living in LA, in Marina Del Rey, on the water, overlooking the channel and $1 million boats, paying way too much for rent and living it over my means, and working 5 jobs just to pay all those bills, to living on this farm, waking up every morning, staring out at the forest of 20 acres and nature, putting my feet on the earth, on the ground, not the cement, not the chaos of LA, but really having an opportunity to calm my nervous system, to relax my nervous system. So I experienced working with cannabis more deeply with Rick Simpson oil, which is a concentrate of cannabis, which is very powerful. And also working with a healer that introduced me to the microdosing in 2016. And I didn't really know much about it. There wasn't a lot of buzz about it. I really hadn't even had that much of experience with even mushrooms in ceremony setting or even in a casual setting. So I was still very novice to the power of mushrooms. So he gave me the medicine and he was like, it's helping my other clients with depression and anxiety and PTSD. And from what you've shared with me, I think that this might be something that might be helpful for you. So I started working with that, and he wasn't really offering the integration or the coaching piece, but he did have a quality, reliable, clean source of medicine. And so I started working with that. The woman that I was living with, Linda, I introduced her to it. We both started doing it together. And then we just started like teaming up, like, hey, let's go do a walk and take our medicine and do our prayers and do our meditation intentions, and let's go work out. And so we found our rhythm. And so through that, I started documenting. And I had the luxury, because I was working on a cannabis farm, that I could spend 3 hours in my morning practice. And so that's where my deep dive of integration really started supporting my soul in healing and transforming all of the past and unwiring. And at that point, I had done quite a bit of work, but there were still fragments that I didn't realize were still impacting my decisions and my subconscious. So sitting still, taking that time in nature, diving deep into the practices of body work, moving my body somatically at ecstatic dance, breath work, tapping, being in nature, reading, feeding my mind, writing, so many different modalities and tools that really supported float tanks, just so many different things that I exposed myself to support moving that needle one step closer to me feeling safe in this body, me calming my parasympathetic nervous system, me feeling the worthiness of that I belong, that I am supposed to be here, and that everything that I've gone through is for the greater good. And how I step into those opportunities is a direct representation of showing up, being present, and even when I don't want to, sharing and being present and being available for someone to feel safe, to drop in and be seen and be heard. So let's fast forward to current time. It's been a crazy journey. I started this business in 2019. My sister was my why. I had just moved from Orange County back to LA, and was supporting clients, just kind of like not even realizing what and how everything was going to develop, but knowing that I had medicine that I personally had benefits from, and that I needed to find out, like do like almost like a beta test, like how powerful is this? What is the universe asking me to do? And baby stepping into it because of the legality issues. So 2019, my brother actually in May came to me, or called me, my favorite brother. And he's like, yo, Abby is off the fucking charts. She is losing her motherfucking shit. It is time for an intervention. I know you're working with this mushroom stuff. Like, what do you think? Do you think it would help her? She is out of control. She peed on my living room floor the other night. She came on to my wife. Like, she's losing it. She ran into my car and it was parked in the driveway. Like, I'm worried. So I reached out to my sister, our sister, and I was like, Abs, come on. You know that this is not the path. This is not where you want to be. So we made an agreement that if she joined, that she allowed me to support her in the microdosing protocol, that I would pay for a full trip for her to come visit me in Hawaii, that we would come here together. This is before I was living here. And so she joined. She did not show up for all of her coaching program opportunities, but she did take the medicine and she did get clean for about 6 months, from my understanding. It might have been longer than that, but as far as I could get any truth out of her or the family, it seemed like she was at least off the alcohol for 6 months. She did show up for some of her opportunities for the integration. However, her own demons got the better of her. She is now, I think, still drinking. I'm hoping she's not on any of the pills, but she always knows that she has a free seat here, that this program was started because of her, and she was my motivation to see the value of what's here. So I send her love and I dedicate this program to her, and I wish the best if she chooses not to, whatever outcome that might be. And that's why my heart has such a passion to support people. Because I want to support my own family. And if they say no, and they're not ready, that doesn't mean that I have to stop. It means that I have more opportunity to share this with more people, and that she's just an example and a representation of all of the humans out there that can use this, that can benefit from this support. And so I just keep on showing up, and I send her love, and I pray for her daily. She's on my altar, and I pray someday that she will find the courage to trust that she's worthy of this healing opportunity, and that she'll take the big step forward. So happy is my why. And through the process of starting this in 2019, COVID happened, as we all know, in 2020. So that gave me the opportunity of sitting still with a little extra cash in my pocket. Thank you, government. And I launched the first iteration of this business, which was called Morphology of Neurogenesis. That's a mouthful, and a lot of people are like, what the hell does that mean? And so as I got rebranded and got an opportunity to get a new website this year, I asked Spirit, okay, what would be the best name to really represent the energy of what we're holding here? And so Third Eye Microdosing and Integration came forward. And so current day, we have been in operation since July 10th of 2019. And I'm not sure how many people have come through the doors, but it has been an amazing honor and a great pleasure to be able to support people and to see the program develop and organically grow to the point that now I have 3 support coaches here with us today, and a couple others that are going to be joining the program soon as support coaches, and just additional modality healers that are going to be a part of our team. And so what microdosing is a small amount of a substance that can support the brain in rewiring, whether that's LSD or mushrooms or MDMA or ayahuasca. There's protocols for almost any substance, and they all are varying in lengths and degrees based on the desired outcomes or benefits that you're looking for. And what is amazing about the product or the supplement that we're working with that takes this opportunity to the next level is that it's not just a microdosing protocol. This is actually 80% of the capsule is Ayurvedic herbs that are designed to support the brain in healing itself. So healing from inflammation, fatigue, getting the brain primed and ready to actually be able to utilize all of the additional adaptogenic mushrooms and lion's mane that were provided in the capsule. The gentleman that started this company, Jefferson, I met him over a year ago, and he's worked on this protocol for over 10 years. And his mission was to support his friends that were in Silicon Valley on Adderall and hating the side effects. And so he created the High Performance, which is a supplement that helps laser focus in on a project or something that you're wanting to complete. It really does allow the mind all of the availability that Adderall would give you, but without all of the negative side effects. So after he introduced that, his friends were like, this is amazing. This is exactly what we needed. Then his other friends were like, well, what about us? What about depression, anxiety, PTSD, suicidal ideation, seasonal depression, all these other elements. And so then he came up with cognitive, which has one less Ayurvedic herb than the High Performance, and it also has the adaptogenic mushrooms and the lion's mane. The other genius piece about this is the mushroom that he is using has not been scientifically proven to have any psychoactive properties. Also, the way that he's extracting it, it doesn't create that psychoactive feeling that you might get when you've taken maybe another microdosing capsule. When you're working with straight psilocybin and lion's mane or niacin, which is the pulstamine stack protocol, you can feel a body flush from the niacin, and you can also feel the subtleties of even a microdose. Usually anything from 50 milligrams and up, you can feel something energetically in your body. And that's the type of capsules I had started with my company, because that's what I had available to me. I was creating that myself. And the reason that I was so excited to switch to work with Carte Blanche and Jefferson's supplements is because I had noticed that my clients were kind of chasing a high instead of really chasing the benefits of the outcome. They were noticing, oh, well, on my first day, I felt like, wow, a little bit of euphoria and colors, and I felt something different in my body. And that's great. However, when we are chasing that more feeling sensation versus the mental shifts that can happen, we are not giving our bodies and our minds the full potential of opportunity of the deep healing that's available. So the integration piece coming in, and then also having a substance that is not giving you a physical high or euphoria state, is a place that I feel like keeps us more grounded, keeps us more present to what the deep work is. And that truly is the integration. The capsule makes the day easier. The medicine in the capsule makes life become more understandable, more pliable, less scary. And so I like to describe that the medicine's like shaking up the snow globe, and that's great. Things are different, things are changing, things are shifting. And if we don't do anything with that, then that can cause the same thing we've already been experiencing, the anxiety, the stress, the confusion. But if we take that shaking up the snow globe of the medicine and we integrate that, we use tools every day to support us understanding the subtle shifts that are happening in our subconscious, then those are lasting effects. We're actually reprogramming our mind, and we're setting ourselves up for success for the future. Because it's just like if you have, this might be a gross analogy, but it's the first one that's coming to my mind. It's like if you have staph infection, which is really prominent here on the island, in the jungle. If you don't do something with that staph infection, it's going to get worse. And you can put, a Band-Aid on it. Maybe you put your salve on it. Maybe you put some witch doctor herbs on it. It might get a little bit better. But if you don't get to the root cause of that infection is still alive in your body. So this wound might appear to go away, might appear to heal. But what happens when your body gets flared up again, reactivated, triggered, offended? Well, that infection is still very much alive in your system. So it's just going to pop up somewhere else. So this could be related to emotional health and also physical health. I noticed personally that my migraines from my neck injury in 91 were horrific in my 20s and 30s because I was running from my fucking past and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And I consciously was like, I'm not ready to open that can of worms. I don't want to. I was more satisfied being a zombie and being sad and depressed than I had any courage to open that door. And guess what? It just kept on repeating. Things just kept on happening to me. And I'm just like, well, why is all this bad shit happening to me? Well, I hadn't changed anything. I was still vibrating at the same frequency, the same mentality. So it was only when I was like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and I want something different. So I'm going to do some radical things. I went celibate for a year. All I did was go to work, go to the grocery store, and come home. I fed my mind and my body with as much positive nutrients and information as I possibly could. And then from that year alone, my entire life changed. I went from shitty apartment, shitty roommates for a year. I moved like 5 different times in LA because I was just attracting more shit because I hadn't dealt with my shit until I sat still that year. And then after that year, I manifested an apartment that should have been $2,000 in LA, but it was $1,000. It was like 1940s architecture, my own fucking space, over 1,000 square feet by myself. And I didn't have a job. I had nothing on paper that proved that I could pay that rent, but it was meant to be, and everything fell into place because I sat still. I got clear. I cleaned out the demons. So assures that all of that to confirm that I've been where you're at, and I know the fear of facing the demons, facing whatever it is that's holding you back from who you know you're here to be, from who you know you want to be. And it doesn't have to be so scary. You don't have to do it by yourself. You don't have to go celibate for a year and disappear like I did. That was what worked for me because I didn't know anybody. Microdosing wasn't a thing. It wasn't really like, I had no resource. So I had to save myself. And at the end of the day, we all get to save ourselves. But what I decided and what I realized is that if I could do this in a group setting with people of like minds and hearts, then maybe more people would be less afraid to face those scary monsters under the bed. And they'd have the courage to remember their worthiness, to remember who they are, to remember why they came here, and to remember how much love they are. To remember that they are worthy. They're worthy to be happy. They're worthy to be thriving. They're worthy to be abundant, successful, worthy to be in the most beautiful dynamic relationships, to have the career or business of your dreams, to remember that you're not here to be a battery, that you're not here to plug into the matrix and just do the 9-to-5 thing, unless that's what you want to do, unless that's what your purpose is and you get to do it with the joy and the passion and the creativity of who you are. But you get to choose that, not society, not your family, not the government. It's an opportunity for you to remember who you are and why you're here, and to be supported in discovering that and stepping into that. So I kind of jumped all over the place and added benefits in with kind of the storyline. I haven't even looked at the time yet. We're at actually, well, this is perfect timing. We're at 9:53. So what I would love to do, we have about another 30-ish minutes, is open it up for Q&A, and we'll 10-15 minutes, and then I'll jump back in and give you some more information on what opportunities there are to work with me and our team, and what we're up to, what our long-term visions are, how we're here to support you moving forward in any possible way. And then we'll go from there. Oh, actually, yes, testimonials. Let's Okay, let's do it right now. That's a great idea. So I'm going to open it up to Jess and Gwen and Martin. And if I'm going to give you guys about, can you sum up your gems of all your juice of awesomeness in about 2 minutes each? Would that work? I know it's going to be hard because there's so much to share, but I do want to give us enough time to, have enough time for the Q&A and everything too. So Martin, why don't you jump in, or Gwen, you want to jump in first? Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to say that to make it really quick and short. Meeting Azul was like, there's something like the quantum realm, right? It's talked about all the time. And I met Azul and I stepped into that, like both Martin and I did. We met at Reconnection and it was like, what the hell did we just, like, I've never been one to do much of anything. So mushrooms in general and microdosing is right there in how it works for me. You were talking about the microdosing and having an amount of dosage that may be chasing a high. I've never been one to chase a high, it feels like, right? Like all my life, I didn't seem like I'm chasing a high. So it's like this protocol and this amount fit my lifestyle. And it really created a groundingness that I didn't know that was possible. And so all of a sudden I grounded in my 50x amount of years. I felt extremely grounded while like tripping out, meaning meeting Azul and being like, where did I just find myself? I'm like in a place that I've always wanted to be, meaning community, creativity. I wrote down individual, together, partnership, and community. And that's what I got starting May. We met you, Martin and I were out looking out, meaning, open to how can we do something together. And we're always looking at individual self-growth as well as nurturing our relationship. And also we tend to love what can we create for community. So we have always created events and things. And so that last year, 2022, was that because we stepped into this, first of all, this dome with fire on top of it at Reconnection, which was crazy. And there was Azul. And so that pretty much set the tone for like, oh, okay, we're held in this space, right? This defined space. Something magical is happening up there where that fire is going on. And here we are grounded in an experience with mushrooms. And I've just come to adore mushrooms. And I don't even know what that means because I have yet to even really have a mushroom trip in that sense. So if anyone is interested in looking at themselves individually, if anyone's interested in creating partnership, because I mean, thumbs up to Jess and knowing her story and how she and her partner have done what they've done. Like if you're looking for that, this is a good place to start too. And then community, what I so enjoyed, and that's what I mean, Azul and I are two peas in a pod, right? Like I have met a soul sister, and I don't mean that lightly. I don't mean that cliche, like I'm talking about, when you talk about reflection or someone that is your, I'm like, oh, I finally met that woman who loves to play and support and see you for who you are and cheerlead yourself through however. So, and I thought I had that with my partner, Martin, over here. And which I do, and then to have a female counterpart, like it just, holy fuck, right? Like holy hell, this is amazing. And the mundane of when you jump into spiritual work, when you jump into facing yourself in shadows, eventually you get to a place where you realize it's mundane. It's like, oh, you mean it's just like that? It's that easy? Oh, it's that hard and it feels like shit? Oh my God. And the microdosing just brings it to a level of realness. And that's ease, but and realness, like a realness that most of us have lived our life escaping, not intentionally and intentionally, but not intentionally, because being human is pretty difficult. And being human actually is so fucking easy, really. And that's the joy of it when you get to that realization. So just thumbs up to what she's creating. Yeah, and that's it. Drop mic.
Thank you, sister. Martin, would you like to jump in next?
Sure. Hi there. My name is Martin Murphy. Yeah, we met at Azul at the music festival. In fact, Azul and I had caught each other's eye at in the dome, and they were doing like this music sound meditation, but like with dubstep, which is one first for me. And we were both, out of a couple of thousand people, Azul and I were probably two of three people that were sitting up. And at the end, all these people are, smoking weed and shit on the ground, and we just look at each other like, hey, how's it going? And then we saw each other later. And I have been to Burning Man a bunch of times, and drugs, I'm very familiar with drugs, but I hadn't done any in a couple of years because it was like, I'm on a spiritual path, as we all are. And I thought, no, I want to do it clean, and had kind of become a little stagnant. I used to do maybe 2 or 3 retreats a year. And when I say stagnant, it's kind of feeling a little stuck. The whole COVID thing kind of put a kibosh on attending retreats and that connection that you get. And so when after the music fest, we had talked to Azul, and she was like, microdosing, and I've never microdosed anything. And I was like, microdosing. And I was like, I had some fear come up, and I was like, oh, fear. I'm like, well, that's worth exploring. So we signed up for the program. Some of the benefits I got, my boss is close to retirement. We're in construction. And he was like, I'm going to Mexico for 2 months. You're running the show. And I've run my own business before, but when you're running the show for somebody else, I'm tiling a bathroom floor with tiny fucking mosaic tile. I kid you not, like tiny. And I was losing my shit, but I was microdosing. And I'm like, dude, there's nobody coming to save you. You have to, and it helped me get through that day, because it was so frustrating for like 3 hours trying to do this tile around a drain, but it helped me get through it. And so one of the benefits was something I noticed was there's nothing you can't handle. And it's not like, it's just that something that, no, you're it. You can handle this. You can do it. Another thing I noticed greatly, which I didn't really notice, but I noticed the feedback, was Gwen's got 3 kids, and they're 9 and a 11-year-old boys, and a 16-year-old daughter. And I'm a little gruff and a little hard sometimes. And I noticed that microdosing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, the kids were totally responding to me differently. I didn't really feel any different, but the kids were responding in a different way. The young one was like jumping in my lap and like cuddling me. And I was like, wow, and Gwen's like, wow, you're really. And so and it's still the same, is well, now it's gotten even deeper, but was microdosing, you don't necessarily feel it, but it kind of took my edge off. And so it was like the kids could feel I was a little softer, and then I could feel that their feedback to me was a little softer. So it was like this really nice loop that we have going on. And then I noticed maybe 2-3 weeks in, I could hear music differently. We go ecstatic dancing a lot, and it's like I could hear the transition into music. And I'm not a DJ, but I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, at work, I didn't know whether to cut wood or dance. I was like, there was an ecstatic element to it for a couple of weeks. It was really funny. And so speaking of creativity, I noticed that some of my creativity was coming back, and I could feel my intuition. People would be telling me something, and I would have an intuitive hit, like, of, where they were really coming from. Or I was like, well, how does that really make you feel? And I'd be like, oh, So, and then my dreams, these are just a few of the things I've noticed, but my dreams are like off the charts. It's almost like the microdosing has kind of reactivated or cleaned my pineal gland a little bit. So it's like really, really awesome. Yeah, it's like I'm having maybe 4 REM dreams a night. So it's pretty off the chain. So it's pretty awesome. So, if you're on the fence, and the other thing is it's really affordable, right? The mushroom themselves, super affordable. So it was like, I was very surprised by that, right? So yeah. So anybody thinking about doing it or on the fence, you've got nothing to lose for it. Do it for a couple of months. I guarantee you'll get a benefit from it. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Martin. I greatly appreciate that. It was great to hear some of your stories again of like how you began. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Azul, we can't hear you.
I'm off mute though. Can you hear me? No? Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it was great to hear some of those stories. I'm not on mute though. You can hear me now?
I can hear you, Azul.
Okay, Martin.
Oh,
you. What? Get out of here.
It's our problem.
Oh my God, I love this team. I love it.
Such a prankster, Martin.
Go for it, Jess. All you.
Oh,
No,
God.
we have 2 computers here, and then I had it muted, so that meant that the volume was down, and so then we couldn't hear you. So it's all good.
Oh, thank you.
Tech difficulties.
Yeah. And okay, so hi Amber, by the way, you came in earlier when everyone was like introducing them. It's so good to see your face, but good to see the both of you, really. So I guess I'll just start off like how I crossed paths with Azul and pretty much how everything has just unfolded up into this point with a little bit of backstory and the outcome of everything. So when I moved back from California in 2019, it was right before the pandemic had broke out. And I was at that point where I finally learned when I went to Gwen's house for that women's retreat that I was literally living through what is called like the dark soul of the night. And it went on for a good solid 2 years. I left a very, very toxic, one-ended, low vibrational, extremely catastrophic, very abusive partner who verbally abused me and then ended up physically abusing me and then physically abusing one of my family members. And it was just a very terrible situation. And I completely had lost myself and my identity because that's what abuse does to you, right? Just completely takes away everything of who you think you are because it just completely brainwashes you, and just not a very good situation. So I tucked myself out in the woods and got a little pond outside of Pittsburgh, literally went back to my hometown, like this little tiny village where people have more tattoos than teeth. Like it was just like a very small, like Pall Mall, Keystone Light, pick and banjo. Like I literally did not want almost anyone to know that I was back in my hometown because I felt so ashamed and so guilty. And you feel really embarrassed when that happens because, you're traveling with this person for 6 years across the United States and you think you know this person and just ends up being like the ultimate betrayal. And it just, it really, I ended up learning that it was me painting my good traits onto him, and that he wasn't the love of my life. He was just the toughest lesson into my life. And checked myself out in the woods and finally got up on my feet after 2 months. And next thing you know, the world shuts down and lost my job and just started spiraling, really. I mean, everybody lost their job. So, I mean, a lot of people in the Midwest did, or, everybody was going through their different things in the pandemic. But I feel like during that time, all there was to either really sit and reflect and enjoy and like take that time to really like sit with yourself and do the deep dive. And like I was really starting to like dance with my shadow. It seemed like I didn't really understand the duality. I was probably drinking myself to sleep getting so shit-faced, having like random one-night stands, just completely spiraled, just probably for a good solid like 8 months. And decided to finally get my shit together and study really hard and got into the OTA program. And that, I feel like, really set the tone for, okay, I need to do things in a more sober way. I need to reconnect to myself. And I was just struggling with a lot of the PTSD. The anxiety was still there. But one thing I also noticed about just like trying to cover up what's going on in your life is that you just try to stay very, 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 very busy. And I didn't actually deal with my shit. This is crazy. I'm like, oh, I'm healing. And then I get fucking married. I get married in 2021, right? You know, I had known this person. We worked at Logan's Roadhouse together. And I'm like, oh, I'm healing myself back to light. And it's been 3 years, but I was just like, I noticed that like I kept like the something deep down inside me, and all the anxiety was just like still there. And graduation comes around, and I'm with this person who is like completely supporting me throughout school. Like, you guys have met Brock, Azul, and Martin and Gwen, and he really just really opened a lot of insight into what it was to actually be loved. You know, I really truly feel that being with him, I almost wondered if I'd really loved it at all. But during that time, just us growing in our love together, he was also dealing with his demons. And when you have mine that are kind of lingering too, I'm like, ooh, let's just get fucking shit-faced all the time, and drinking's fun until it's not fucking fun, okay? It's not fucking fun for me anymore. Things just started getting pretty chaotic. Just felt like that he was still dealing with the death of his mother and a friend. And, you know, it just, I felt like that I was going through school sober, and it was just really hard. Like, we were just complete opposite schedules. And I was like, there's got to be something. Like, I'm just so sick of self-medicating with this shit. It's just so easy and accessible. And because I'm in pre-med school, they drug test, so I couldn't even do cannabis. So I was just like suppressing my emotions because with the anxiety and depression that I was dealing with. So May rolls around, graduation time, and I was like, at that point, just I could feel it in my soul. Like, it was fucking done. I was ready to finally take the seeds that I planted like an octopus for the last 2 years and just finally do like the work with the deep dive that I did previously. And my girlfriend Deanna came from Washington, pulled up with a bunch of fucking hula hoops and camping gear and shit. And she was like, get in the car, we're going to Reconnection. And I was like, what the fuck's Reconnection? And she was like, you're coming with me. So I get down to Astral Valley Park, and we're unpacking, and we walk up to the front of the stage, and she's like, we got to go see Mo. Like, we got to go see this first set. And I'm like, okay. And she was just like really adamant. And we're walking, and as soon as we get back behind stage, all I see is this big, huge round tent that says Mojitos, with a woman that's literally glowing, like super tan, bright pink fluorescent hair. And I just kept walking towards her, and Dee is like, where are you going? I was like, I don't know, but my soul says I have to go there. Like, I have to sit there. And so I swear it happened just like that. It was like, oh, like, what the fuck's happening? Like, it really legit happened like that. And I sat down and looked, and she looks up to me with this wide brim hat, and she's like, hello. And I'm like, oh shit. And then her soul, like, it just captivated like instantly. And next thing you know, it was like 3 hours later, and I look up and I'm like, where's Dee? And Azul was like, she left like 2 hours ago for that set. And we connected, and it just, everything about like our stories and just life's mission and connectedness and healingness, to know that you can create a community with support and do it with plant medicine and be with people from different walks of life and be there with you through no judgment whatsoever. And so Brock and I went into it together because, you know, one thing I learned too, people don't change unless they really, really want to. And I had done all this transformation work for a couple of years, and he was thinking that he was doing it, but like he was still like obviously not really dealing with it, because then he would drink and have really, really shitty behaviors. And I guess, you know, just he wasn't ready. And we just kind of had like this little bit of divide. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to still acknowledge my worthiness. I'm going to show up for me. and I'm going to be a part of this community, and I'm going to work with this plant medicine, and I'm going to see the transformation that I can do within myself, because maybe if he can see that there's a transformation in me, he'd want to do it for himself. And this is so personal, what I'm about to tell you. And through all of that, he's now in an outpatient rehab, and he's been sober for almost 2 months now, and he's just showing up to group every single day, and he's going to individual therapy, and he's actually dealing with this shit. And it just makes it so much easier to coincide with someone and just really grow back into our love, because it is so hard being with someone when you watch them self-sabotage themselves. So just having this group of women be here, it's just like showing, they didn't just like show up for me because I invited them, they all showed up for themselves. And I feel like that's what this program has done, is that it's really helped me show like the transformation of whatever you're going through in your life, and that you can have that support and create, because ultimately I feel like that's just what our true purpose is in this life, is to love and support and have relationships, because that is what's truly meaningful, and finding your worthiness and then just sharing it out and just watching your life unfold in this beautiful way. And I just feel like really that's what this community has done for me. So I'm just really super thankful to, you know, have all of you here and just, you know, integrate this plant medicine together. It's been an awesome journey. And I also didn't know it, but that fire dome that Gwen and Martin met Azul in, I walked into 2 hours later, kind of like tripping on mushrooms. And I look, and Azul is just giving Martin a massage, and I'm like, who's that guy, right? And I never met him that night. A whole year goes by, right? A whole year. And she's like, yeah, I'm doing like this community thing, or come to Kansas on this retreat. And I like saw them like over the computer screen, but like nothing clicked. And then I get to the retreat to Gwen's house, and we locked eyes, and I was like, holy shit, I've been around you before. So yeah, it was really cool. I feel like that everything is just really to truly believe in everything in its own divine timing. And I really feel that when you do the work on yourself, you show up for yourself so you could show up for other people, and that those other people actually come with you in that. So that's just really what this has really meant to me. So yeah, I guess that's my little soapbox, but but yeah, so I just want everyone to, you know, I just want everyone to just, you know, be open-minded and just, you know, see what can happen in your life, because it's happened for me, and I believe it's something I really believe in. So
Thank you, guys. Oh my goodness, all three of you have me in tears today. I love
I know,
it.
it.
And it's just confirmation of what is possible, because all three of you, I mean, out of the whole group, I feel like everybody did benefit this last round, but the three of you really did step up and take on the challenge of making it your own, and really getting everything you could get out of this program. And it just goes to show, the more you show up for yourself, the more you're going to receive and see benefit of. And like Jess said, the more you're going to have available to share with other people. So I'd love to open up the space now. If anybody has any questions or comments, we're at, we got like another, it's like 10:17 here. So I probably just need like at least 10 minutes at the end just to kind of go over the offerings and what's available and what's coming up in the future for the Third Eye microdosing community. And yeah, so we'll open it up to questions now.
Question.
I'll turn off. I just want to say that we had in one of our calls, we had a meeting with Jefferson, the creator of the medicine, and a question that some people have is, you know, but I get drug tested, you know, what if I'm microdosing? And he explained to us that most companies are testing for 5 drugs, and there's different levels of testing. So the first normal test is for 5 drugs, be like cocaine or methamphetamines and really hardcore drugs. And mushrooms are like if a company is doing a background check to where they're testing you for like 15 drugs, and microdosing is at the very end of that scale. And so, well, mushrooms might be, but microdosing, I mean, you barely know. The only reason I know I'm taking these is I feel slightly different, but I'm not in any way altered. In fact, I'm more present in my job than I would be without taking the medicine, right? And so just in case anybody has that, slight fear or something that, oh, but what if I get drug tested? Unless you're unless you work for the CIA or somebody, which they have their own drugs, then, I don't think you need to worry about that.
Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. This is Emily.
Sorry, and we're going to peace out because we're actually going to a float tank and we're taking a little mushroom tea before we go. So see you all later. It's been fun talking and meeting with everybody. So Jess and everybody, lovely to see you guys.
Thank you for showing up.
guys.
Appreciate you too so much.
I'll see you guys at Reconnection this year. Yeah,
Deprivation change.
Reconnection.
So Martin's contribution just then was kind of in the vein of where I was going to ask my question. With the ratio of the different types of mushrooms that are in the supplements, what amount of that is psychoactive?
So in the cognitive blend is the one that is made for most anybody can take. And that has in one capsule 75 milligrams of adaptogenic mushroom and additional lion's mane. But the 75 is the adaptogenic mushroom that I was mentioning earlier. If you Google this name, and I apologize, I can't pronounce it. I don't have the medicine bottle with me right now. But I can send all of the ingredients to Jess, and she can share, those with you. And you can actually, it has all on the website, all of the benefits of each supplement. And when you Google the adaptogenic mushroom, it says something like not enough studies have been done to classify this as a psychoactive mushroom. And then the way he extracts it, somehow create, I don't know if it's the psilocybin to psilocin, but it doesn't create a psychoactive effect in the body.
Okay, just in the neurons of the mind. Okay,
It just has the healing benefits of the mushroom in the capsule, but not the psychoactive component.
All right.
Whoops, just kicked my chair. There we go. Yeah. And the again, the reason why I'm committed to this supplement versus any other, like just regular microdosing, grabbing a grape, B+ or golden teacher or albino or cubenza, is because one, our brains have had a lot of trauma with what we put in our bodies, our air that we're breathing, the things that we're just bombarded with, the free radicals. So all of our minds, unless you're already working on healing your mind, is probably preconditioned to Alzheimer's or dementia or brain fog or inflammation. And so in my mind, if I can help someone heal their mind as well as rewire it, then I'm achieving more than I ever could have possibly fathomed in this life, because I'm not giving people just something that is going to be a quick fix. I'm actually giving them the opportunity to have their life back, to be able to have the mind to create what you're here to be. And if we don't have our mind, we don't have quality of life. So I used to be just a regular coach, life coach, and I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. This is like pulling fucking teeth. And I get it, because I probably wouldn't have wanted to coach me when I was going through a lot of that stuff in that 10-year period of time of taking all the baggage and the layers off. And that's why I decided that I wanted to work with a substance or a supplement, because if you don't have your mind, then we're facing battles before we're even getting to the root cause. We're having to deal with the overlaying depression, the brain fog, the lack of creativity, the lack of joy, the just lack of wanting to live sometimes. So if I can help people want to actually be in their bodies, feel good as a human, then I've accomplished something far surpassed than just being a coach. Because unless your mind is ready and able to change and shift, we're just kind of making things more complicated in my mind. So that's why I'm so passionate about Carte Blanche, and I feel like it was a blessing from heaven that I was that we ran into each other, like that the universe had us at the same spot at the same time, because I almost didn't go to that dance. It was a Sunday morning ecstatic dance, and I almost didn't go because I was like, I'm too tired, I'm running. I'm glad I went. Any other questions?
I need to know what the time commitment is for the integration part of it.
Sure. So I have many layers within this to support people's variety of scheduling concerns. The program originally started out just one-on-one coaching, and then the weekly calls literally were just something that I kept getting a download from universe and spirit, like, okay, it's great that you're being of service to the clients. However, the community aspect, and even Paul Stamets talks a lot about this, that when we're in community settings and we can be seen and witnessed and supported by others, our peers, then the growth and the opportunity of that integration is much more vast and can be a quicker, much easier process. And we don't feel alone. So the weekly calls are now a part of the program, but they're not mandatory. I do hope that everybody can attend at least one a month. And I think that once you get a flavor of it, people will do whatever it takes to make that a part of their life, because of the connection, the support, the fun that we have. And every class is different, or every week's session is different. And this year I'm going to make it even more fun and playful. Well, we'll do impromptu dance parties, and we'll, have guest speakers. I already have a couple lined up. I have a hypnotherapist that's going to be coming on probably within the first month, and she has a 15-step process of integration that is next level. I'm actually getting ready to take her facilitated training in a couple weeks. So there's going to be a variety of things that will happen on those weekly calls, but the overall commitment is that's crucial, that I feel, is at least making your one-on-one sessions with either me or a support coach. And those are, we can break those up into 30-minute sessions each week if you want, or it can be an hour for the month. So I'm very flexible. We just need to figure out what works best for you, and creating that space and that time. Also, I like to have the weekly call every week at the same time, the same day, so we have that consistency. And I do try and record most of them. Sometimes if it's just a few people and it ends up being more of like a personal kind of coaching opportunity, I might not record those. And that's the other great thing, is this program is still in its kind of baby stage. And so I still have a lot of freedom in my schedule, so I can give even more of my personal time and space. And so that's another reason that it's really awesome to join kind of at this point of where we're at in the programming, because there is a lot more access and support and processing than there probably will be by the end of this year, especially if Jessica keeps inviting people. We're going to I have to hire another group of support coaches, is what I'm feeling by summer. So but the overall goal is your one-on-one sessions, which is every month. And I did extend the program based on feedback from this last group. We were doing it just for a 4-month program, but I've expanded it to be a 6-month program. I feel like a month getting us ready, and then 4 full months of the whole transition, and then the last month of getting you set up for whatever your next steps are going forward, whether that's setting life goals for you, doing life strategy support, connecting you to resources. So this time the program is going to be 6 months versus 4 months. So you get 6 deep dives with myself or a support coach. And then each week we have the weekly call. And then you have Voxer, which is at your own discretion to use. you can network, you can share, you can ask for support. And I answer messages on there during office hours. And then that's also a space that on Voxer, you can private message me and you have access to me there too. And that can be, as long as it's not taken advantage of, I'm available after hours. Like Jess knows, on Christmas Day, she called me. And the first time I didn't pick up because I was like, I'm in the middle of a song circle at someone's house. I don't know if I can answer right now. And then she kept calling. I was like, oh shit, something's up. And so I stepped out, and I was glad that I did. And I was glad that I was able to be available in that moment for her. So again, you have a lot of access to me, and I want to keep that vibration and that frequency available as we grow and as we expand. So the support coaches coming on will also support me in being able to have even more support and resources for you guys. And the weekly call or the monthly calls, the deep dive integration calls, you set that up based on your schedule. So that doesn't have to be the same time every week, unless we're doing like a 15 or a 30-minute check-in. Then for my convenience and for my brain fog mind, sometimes it's better that we just like, hey, every Wednesday is our 15-minute quick check-in at 10 o'clock. And I'm not calling you, you're calling me. And if you don't decide to call me, then that's your choice not to show up for your space and time for that session. Any other questions?
No questions over here.
All right. How about Amber and Cameron? How about you guys?
Yeah, I think we're all good over here as well.
Okay. Well, this is the point of the call where I'd love to wrap it up and then just share what we've got going forward in the program and the community, and then how what opportunities are available if you guys are interested in joining the programming that Jess and Gwen and Martin just completed and graduated from. So the long vision of the community is that I am gearing the program and the company up to be a psychedelic church nonprofit status. So it protects myself and all members that are part of the program to be protected under working with me on the microdosing and also any other ceremony work. We're also already, this will be phase 2 of the medicine tour. We'll be in Southern Illinois in April. We're planning on being in Lawrence, Kansas, also in April. I'll be in Santa Barbara, California, the beginning of April. And then potentially Austin, Texas, and Colorado in May or June. And then the festival Reconnection in outside of St. Louis, Missouri in the second weekend of June. And then maybe again in Lawrence, Kansas for another retreat. So I travel to lead medicines. I currently work with MDMA, mushrooms, and cannabis in the ceremony setting. I'm in the facilitation training right now for BUFO, which is the pure form of 5-MeO DMT, which they call the God molecule. Very transformational work, deep dive, very therapeutic on several levels. The Spirit Molecule on Netflix would kind of give you a little brief information on that, or you can Google BUFO. It's a very powerful medicine. I'm excited to be able to offer that next year. And so the program that we're currently offering that just graduated from is the Future Butterfly, and it is going to be a 6-month program this time. It gives you a deep dive each month with a support coach or myself. And that typically is about an hour, but we can extend that. Sometimes I've had 3-hour sessions depending on what we're working on and what we're going through. You also get the weekly share calls, which, like I was sharing earlier, the formatting on that has been very organic. We mostly cover our protocol, like what that week, what our supplement was, or the week before. Like last week I did 3 cognitive and I did 2 high performance. This is how I felt. This is what I was working with when I was doing those. You get a baseline assessment that I invite everybody to do at the beginning of each month before you take your medicine. So that way, those subtle subconscious nuances that might get lost in your daily life, you're actually able to say, oh, wow, last month when I did that, I was really struggling with question 7. And now I've like advanced, I'm like 50% better than what I was last month. So because microdosing is the subtle changes, because sometimes in our daily lives, we aren't ready for a macro dose of mushrooms or ayahuasca, which is really going to shake shit up and really bring a lot of emotions and things to the surface. The microdosing is designed to do that, but in a more subtler, gentler way. So when we track it with that baseline assessment, you're really able to see all of those little nuances of how your life is starting to change and shift for you. So baseline assessment, writing prompts. I have an ebook that I created that you get that, which has goal setting, intention setting, habit setting, and then pages to do your journal writing on. You have access to a whole resource page on the website, which is playlists and meditations and books that I've benefited from on my own personal journey. And then the Voxer group, which is Third Eye Microdosing community, and that's the lifetime membership. And like I said, if you want to offer something, if you want to network, as long as your offerings, like a program or whatever is not competing with what I'm creating for the community, then please share all day long and utilize the resources of the people that are a part of the community that are on there to support your business or a project that you're working on. And then that also access to me, private messaging if you have any questions or concerns after hours. And then also discounts in the future for retreats, as long as you are a current microdosing member or in a program, active program, then you would receive discounts on ceremonies with me. So say if you guys joined and you wanted to come to the retreat that we're going to have in April with Jess and Kathy, then we would offer some type of discount for being a part of the program. And that would be on my part, not part of Jess and Kathy's offerings, but what I'm offering on that. And what else? What else, Jess? Am I missing anything? One-on-one group, Voxer, the ebook.
No, I think you got it all. Ebook, the Audible, yeah, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is the medicine, the carte blanche, and referring people to the microdosing program. I have affiliate programs for both of those. So as you're having a positive result or response to the programming and the supplement, and you're like, oh my God, I got to share this with my friends. And they're like, yes, I want to do this too. Then I want to reward you and compensate you for sharing and taking the time to share your benefit and your response to this program by giving you a percentage. Carte Blanche has an affiliate program that pays on 3% or 3 levels. So like I've invited Jess, so I make a commission off of Jess's clients. And then if Jess invited somebody, she would make commission off of them and I would make commission off of them. So it's like 8, 3, and 1. It's not a huge amount because the supplement is priced very, very affordably. But every little bit counts. I'm getting commission checks now after a year of being on the affiliate program of anywhere from $50 to $100 a month. So it might not be a lot, but it could take care of my supplements. Like you could get your supplements basically free. And talking about that, the high performance is $45 for a month's supply. And the high performance is one that you're not going to take every day. It's going to be more of like, hey, I need to take something that's like Adderall. I need to do my taxes. I need to clean my motherfucking house. I got to go do that one thing that I am not wanting to do. You would take a high performance. For normal day, everyday work, school, life, the cognitive is really the one that I personally use 5 days on, 2 days off. And so the cognitive is $38 without any discount. And that is for a 30-day supply, 5 days on, 2 days off. And with the program, with the Future Butterfly, you get a discount of 20% off for your supplements and for a lifetime. So if you want to continue taking these supplements after the program, you still get that 20% off, and you can still get the discount or the affiliate percentage as well. So those are 2 opportunities. And then affiliate program with Third Eye, depending on the package that the person that you're bringing to the opportunity purchases, then we would make sure that you would get a fair percentage, like a referral fee for that invitation and that person joining. So those are ways that long-term can bring even more abundance and opportunities into your life. And because this community and organization is growing, I'm looking for people around the United States that can support creating hubs. So that way, one, like you're almost creating like your own little microcosm mushroom community wherever you live. So maybe I'm supporting you with doing like weekly mushroom hikes or monthly mushroom hikes, microdosing hikes. And so you're bringing people to your little community. So that way you have in-person like-minded people in your community, as well as our virtual community. So there's a lot that's coming down the road that's going to be a part of this. A nonprofit, we're getting into a trust, which is going to protect us. We're going to be on tour. I do retreats here in Hawaii, which I would love for each and every one of you guys to come and experience this magic here. Jess and Brock and I, and one of my dear friends from LA and one of her business partners and a couple other folks that I'm connected here in Hawaii, we're all looking to purchase land probably in the next 6 to 9 months and building a retreat center, tiny home village, Airbnb type situation. So you need out of the mainland for a couple weeks, you call Azul and you be like, yo, homie, is a Turtle Cottage available? Because I need a reset. I need to feel the ocean air on my skin. I need to go to the Canna Beach and get my feet in the black sand beach with the blue water. And I need to go hike and I need to go see Pele. And I'll be like, I got you. Turtle Cabin's open. So you're not just saying yes to an opportunity to heal yourself. You're saying yes to an opportunity of having a community of like-minded souls, brothers and sisters that are here to support you and to create the future together. So whatever your business is, whatever your entrepreneurial ideas are, whatever your purpose is, I want to be a part of supporting that, seeing that into the community. It's not just like I want you to come to the microdosing program and then when you graduate, you're done. You're on your own. No, this is family. This is tribe. And this is family and tribe like you've never experienced before, because this is not the same biological dynamics that we sometimes experience with our earthly family. This is chosen soul family. So the last thing I'm going to say is that anybody that was a part of this masterclass, the replay folks, we'll have to figure out a different situation for you. But anybody from today that would like to join, I'm offering an additional 15% off for the program. And there's options. You can either pay in full or you can pay monthly. And I don't want the price to be a limited factor. So if somebody is interested and the pricing is a little bit out of your comfort zone, I want it to be a little bit out of your comfort zone because I want this to be a stretch. I want this to be something that you're like, I'm committed to because I had to put skin in the game. But I don't want the skin in the game to be so severe that you're not able to put food on the table. You're not able to put gas in the car. You're not able to take care of the basic human needs. So I don't want anybody to feel like that they can't be a part of this if they are ready. And if they're 100% like, no fuck, I'm ready to show up for myself and be in this program, then I've got your back and I will show up for you. And we will make a pricing available. And the last group, they can attest, nobody paid full price.
Mm-mm.
And I even made different payment arrangements. It's not something that I want to do going forward all the time, but it is something that because I'm small still, I'm still growing, that I have that flexibility. And so I want to give that offering and that opportunity to all of you. So I'm going to give you the pricing right now. And I want you to pay attention to what your body, how your body responds and how your heart feels. And if you're feeling excited right now, like I'm a fuck yes, but I don't know what this price tag is, and you're a little nervous, that's a good spot to be in. And I want you to know that I will do whatever it takes if you're really ready to do the work.
And I will say and chime in on that, like I literally had just graduated college, was pretty, fun, messing around, a little bit of credit card debt, just trying to deal with my student loan. And we definitely work with people. Very, very thankful for that. I got put on a monthly payment plan but it was just drawn out for a long time. But I loved that you made it accessible to my needs, and you're like, look, like there's no pressure here, but like this is whatever you need. So I think mine was like $77 a month, I think, at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, I think
Yeah,
it's
we'll
totally
make it work. We definitely will make it work. And the discounts on the medicine definitely helps as well. You know, makes it very affordable.
And too, like I stopped, like I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do the deep dive, I'm not buying any more shitty food. So like I basically stopped buying things that I could only utilize once. So I stopped buying alcohol. I stopped buying, I was like, whatever, if I'm gonna keep putting money to all this shit that's making my life worse, I'll just put a little bit over there. And it was the best investment. It was, I mean, obviously it transformed my life.
Exactly. And that shows the commitment, just that you saw the value and you were willing to do whatever it took to make sure that that was in your life. And so maybe it is a decision of like, oh, I don't do Starbucks, or maybe we don't eat out every week this month, or, you know, the things that you're saying, like that are, you know, not bad things to invest in, but are they moving the needle to what you want in your life? Are they changing you and your opportunities to be where you want to be? So sometimes we have to get uncomfortable. We have to do something that's different to get out of the insanity. So right now, the program for 6 months is $222 a month. And the paid in full, I believe, is, math in my head, 1,332. And so within that, like I was saying earlier, we can definitely set up payment arrangements that if you need to space this out over a longer period in time than the 6 months, my only commitment is that if we do take it out of the 6-month program and we extend the payment past that, then the commitment is that you're actually going to continue making your payments even after being completed with the program. And we just sign a contract. I have a sales agreement that you sign, and we would write up, you know, whatever your conditions are or your custom agreements are, then that would be on that contract. I use Stripe as a pay portal, so it's safe and protected for recurring auto payments. My website was ready to take payments, and I went in there and messed with some stuff, and I have to get some things reprogrammed by my designer. So I will be able to get all of the paperwork and everything to you guys within the next 12 hours. So the additional discount of 15% off, that window of opportunity is from the end of the call today until it's a Monday at 10 o'clock Hawaii time. Actually, let's do 11:11 Hawaii time on Monday. So you have till that time to accept the offer and get the additional 15% off to join the program. And then after that, it would be back to the full price programming. Now, not to say that I can't also still like create payment arrangements for you, but that additional 15% off offering is just in that time window. It's like an early bird type special. And then the actual programming with the weekly calls will start after February 15th. So this is like a pregame. I'm getting people in, getting everybody signed up, getting everybody all the paperwork started. So that way, when we hit February, we're ready to go. But there'll still be access to me on Voxer. We can start conversating. You can start taking the medicine. We can start the ball rolling on everything except for the coaching, the private coaching and the weekly calls. All of that will begin after February 10th. And we will be doing another info call like this, Masterclass, on February 4th. So if you have friends that you think would benefit from this and they didn't get to come today and you want to invite them, that could be your referral too. So that could be a commission that could go towards your payment of your programming. And I'm going to do the master classes every month, once a month. So there'll always be this opportunity for you to invite people in. It's not a closed set container where it just starts here and ends here. I thought about doing that, but I like the idea that if anybody's available and they weren't available in January, they didn't know about this, but they met me in April and they want to join now, I don't want to make them wait till the program's over at the end of the 6 months. I want to make sure that they're getting in when they're prime and ready to move forward. Any questions on that so far? Can I see a raise of hands? Who is interested in the program as of right now? whether the payment thing is an issue or not. Like, if the payment wasn't an issue, who's interested? Let's go that question. 1, 2. How many over there, Jess?
The whole house. This is so lovely.
Then we're doing this,
Girl,
guys.
I'm telling you, like, I literally have a set thing in mind that, like, I know that this is going to happen. I'm saving these Capital One miles for a reason, to fly my peeps out to Hawaii, y'all.
Yes.
I literally, like, I already have 3 plane tickets to Hawaii right now, my Capital One flyer miles. All right. All I
Hey.
need is about, it can happen.
Hey, Jess,
I
can you pan the?
scammed too.
Can you pan the? I want to see everybody in the room real quick. Can you? I want to like get the whole view of the whole room. How many people are still in the room? 1, 2,
How do I
3.
do that? Okay.
2, 3,
All right. So
5,
there's
5.
Summer right there. Yep. And then
Awesome. So yes, ready for the program. We'll figure out the money. Yes, yes, yes.
I am not at this time ready, but it doesn't mean that at some time I won't be.
Okay.
Eventually I cannot, but I will eventually be able to do so.
Okay.
I was excited about it and interested in it.
Awesome. Okay. And I forget your friend's name that's right behind you, Jess, in the blue. Emily. What is holding you back right now, babe?
So, I think the program sounds amazing and a really incredible space to hold for people. I have had, and I currently am in some of my own programs of my own creating with the resources that I've had and am finding. But I've done some medicinal healing work in the past and have had great benefits from it. So at this point in my life, I'm not sure if it's the right time for me to do another program. But I know that opportunities come around when they do, and synchronicity occurs when it does. So I'm not feeling any kind of resistance. I'm just also not feeling an extreme pull. So I'm gonna ride that wave for a minute.
Okay, cool. An invitation for a question to ponder is there any area in your life that you're stagnant in, or that you're not really feeling like, do you have joy and bliss in your life along of like in all aspects of your life, work, family, relationship, personal, your own personal relationship with yourself? Like, I would just, and I'm not asking for an answer right now. This might be something that you can write about, that if there's any area of your life that you feel like you are kind of subpar or not really stretching your plate to your full greatness, what would be possible if you were in that space, if you were pushing the needle in that direction? What else could come into your life to add even more added value, joy, abundance, prosperity? So just ponder on that, because I'm not saying that you should do the program. I'm just an invitation and a loving interruption to allow people to realize, maybe I'm not at my full potential. Maybe I'm just in the comfort zone. But how long can I live in that comfort zone and not be stagnant? Because if we're stagnant, we're not growing. And if we're not growing, we're dying. And not that I'm saying you're dying. I'm just saying, I always want to push the needle. I want to push the needle. Like, how much more great can I be? Like, what else is within me that I'm not realizing that I can have access to?
And I will say, like, pointing like Ani, just like working with the plant medicine, even after 4 months, like, even if you say that like you're not going in with the intention of, okay, these are like areas that I'm really lacking in, but also people notice, like for Brock, for instance, he just went in it with an open mind and went into it with, when he started taking the plant medicine, that he just noticed his creativity just like kept growing. So like it was just really the expansion that comes along with the program with Ayurvedic herbs, that like it just really, just the expansion part of it was pretty cool to witness. And then I also, kept experiencing it. I mean, literally, like we talked about manifestation whiplash for like the last 8 months. It's been fucking awesome. Like, it happens. It really does,
It is true. It is true.
If I didn't think that it was true, like I really really wouldn't, you know, hold this space for all my peeps, you know what I mean? And just like put that message out there, like, you know, I was called upon to do this for a reason because Spirit told me to invite all of them here. So, and it was all only certain people, right? So
Yeah, exactly. No, and so true. And that is true. Like maybe there's nothing lacking in our lives, but what else is possible? Like how much more creative could I be, or how much more joyful, or just have more expansion in my understanding of why are we here as humans. So everybody knows their own calling, and you're here in the room for a reason. So just be, and I'm glad that you're open and not feeling resistant, but just be open to all the possibilities that why universe brought you into this room in this moment to hear this message today, and just be in discovery of that. And I'm available if you have questions and want to further communicate about that. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good. Okay, and then wasn't there someone over here that mentioned something?
Yeah, I thought there was one more person.
I think it was Lindsay. She said that she was excited, but not in the place of something. I can't remember what she said.
Oh, I am in so much debt right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to dig myself out. There's no yeah, it all sounds great. I've been looking for therapy stuff for a minute now. Definitely need a change, but there's I mean, I know there's payment plans and stuff, but currently I'm in no position to be doing anything in that realm. But I do appreciate it, and I have all of my notes, and I'm trying to build it all back up. So if ever I do that, I would be interested in checking me out again.
Okay, awesome. An invitation for you. Spirit's just telling me to give you this message. If you're 100% full body yes, and you do believe that this program would support you and move the needle in your life and mental and emotional healing, then let's be open. And maybe, you know, the time frame of the discount isn't the space that you're in, but maybe, like you're saying, joining at another point. But I wouldn't put it off in the sense of like thinking, oh, I can't afford this. It's going to be months or a year before I can afford this. I would invite you to have the mindset of, universe, I want this. I truly believe that this would support the things that I am ready to heal, and I'm ready to transmute, and it will support me moving the needle in my life. I don't know how or where the money is going to show up, but if you want me to be in this program, universe, you will bring the miracle to me. You will bring the opportunity, the person, the thing, the idea that will allow you to even have the conversation, for you to feel comfortable having the conversation with me of what you can afford. Because I will fight for anybody. If they are willing to show up and do the work, I don't want you to go, I don't want this conversation to go on mute.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Universe right now wants me to pay the IRS like $5,000. So I think at the moment that's where my thoughts and my my work and my funds need to go before my car and other things are, you know, gone. I think I need to hold off on such a large program with such a price point. And I hate that that's the case. I hate that that's how life is right now, but those are my responsibilities and the needs that I have.
I totally get that.
Other needs, but that's been knocking on my door, and very much so do. So
Okay, well, also remember that if the universe wants you to be in this program, all of the things that you're mentioning, or your hesitation, or that are responsibilities that you feel are more of a priority, those things will be figured out. So just surrender, like allow your mind to believe that if it is supposed to be, everything will dial in and everything will align, and you'll be able to join. And that could be this month, it could be next month, but just don't put any limitations in the mindset, and check in. And if you are a full body yes, then play in the space of everything is possible, and allow the universe to show up for you. Because the universe just needs your permission to be able to bless you with the miracle that is here waiting for you.
gotcha.
Does that make sense?
We'll just advertise all your art in Hawaii and sell it all.
That would
Let's just sell all of her art in Hawaii, Azul. She's a dude. She is a badass artist. Like Lindsay,
Yes.
Lindsay, legit. Like she's got a unique gift for sure.
Well, we'll need someone to come paint murals on all of the tiny homes on our property. So that's
I am
probably why we met.
I am a muralist.
She's a straight up muralist. She does like all of the murals like in the head shops around here and
Oh my God.
and
Send me,
on random properties. Like she's done murals on my family's property.
oh
Like
my God. Jess, will you send me her link to her website or whatever you have your art posted on?
I do have a website, yeah.
Okay, because maybe there's something there, you know, maybe through connection, we get you a job that pays for everything and you can join the program.
That's
Honestly, to be honest, I think the universe is saying, to be honest, I think the universe is saying, fuck the IRS. We're going to figure out a way to get out of that situation and get that removed from your plate. And then the money is going to come through an opportunity, a job, something. And you're going to be like, hell yes, I'm not paying monthly. I'm paying in full. What's my discount for paying in full? And I'm booking myself for your next Hawaii retreat because I'm going to come out there because Azul's going to have me booked painting murals out here. The trip will be free.
I would go to Hawaii to paint murals.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's possible. And that's the game that I play in the coaching sessions. It's not just.
it really is true. I'm not joking.
We have fucking fun. We laugh, we dance, we move, we dream the most impossible dreams. And for anybody that's religious, isn't the Bible verse say when two or more come in my name and ask, it is given? Well, look in the room, Lindsay. You got more than two people behind you cheering you on and supporting you.
That's very nice. I appreciate it.
Okay. So that's what's possible. And that's what I want you guys to get and really understand, that I am not like any coach you've ever met. I'm not like any coach I've ever met. I wish I would have met me before I spent 20 grand on 2 different coaches and I didn't finish the programs. The coach didn't show up for me. She was too busy. She was overwhelmed. I didn't have the support. I didn't get what I asked for. 20 grand. And so that's why I'm a badass now. I show up bigger and as bright as I possibly can because you guys are worth it. And if I do that for you and your lives change, whoa, what a blessing that I got to be a part of that. What an honor to be one part of your story and your future greatness. Like I get off on that. Literally, my brain explodes with so much oxytocin and joy and happiness when I see Jess. She sends me text messages almost every day. Oh my God, I can't believe this. It's bananas. And she gives me the manifestation that just happened. I got this. I got hired for this. I got paid this. They want me to do this. This place is connected to Hawaii already. It's like she's living proof. That's been my life. And I would share it with people and people thought I was absolutely batshit crazy. But now Jessica's like my confirmation that what is here and what's available for us as humans is real and it's fun. So I'm glad that everybody in the room is a yes. And I'm excited to work with everyone that is ready to figure out and how to be a badass and how to figure out the finances together. And it doesn't have to be a scary conversation. Like, I did not come from money. I was on food stamps. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. And I'm a scrappy motherfucker. I will figure shit out. So you got someone on your back. You got somebody that's got your back, that's going to fight for you and it's going to show up for you. So our next step, since everybody or other than Lindsay and Emily, what I would love to do is to get on a phone call with you guys so we can figure out what payment structures work for you, what we can create creatively, so that way it's a win-win for both of us. Because I need to eat too, and I can't just donate my time for free, but I do want to make this a possibility for each and every person that is 100% yes, ready to show up for themselves. So, from today to Monday at 11:11, That might be a tight window. What's everybody's availability to get on a quick 30-minute one-on-one call so we can figure out the finance piece and get everybody signed up? Do people have availability tomorrow or Monday? Or is Monday a day that if I extended it to like 5 o'clock Hawaii time, and I think I'm 4 hours ahead of you guys, so that would be 9 o'clock your time? If you had till 9 o'clock on Monday to get on a phone call with me, would everybody be able to do that that's interested in doing that? Yes,
I can do Monday.
Monday? Okay. How about over there, Jess, on your side?
Courtney can do Monday.
I can do Sunday, Monday.
Kathy can do Sunday, Monday.
Okay,
Summer said she can do Monday.
okay, awesome.
Also learn about your butterfly program, so I would like to have a little bit extra to talk about that as well, or whatever the protocol is.
Oh, she
Okay.
wants to learn more about the protocol for the butterfly program.
Well, that's what the Future Butterfly, that's a program, the 6-month program. Is that what you're referring to?
To know about the coaching program.
Oh, to be a coach, yes. So going through the Future Butterfly then would allow you to be able to be considered to be a part of the support coach program, which right now I'm not charging for the support coach program, because basically you're you're being a part of the Future Butterfly. So you're getting the training of like how I'm holding space, how I'm facilitating it, and then doing our one-on-one coaching shows you kind of the structures. And then when you graduate from that program, then complimentary, you're invited to my support coach program, which is we'll meet once a month, do deep dives in that space, work on things that are coming up, coaching tools, resources. And then as the community grows, then I start sending you clients. We have a set percentage rate that you make as a support coach. And then I pair you with clients that are going to be best suited with your skill sets and your interests of what you want to coach. And so then after that 6-month program, then you get opportunity to be a support coach and make money with that, and also the affiliate program. And then also if you wanted to lead like masterclass calls like this eventually, then that would be also something, another opportunity that would open up abundance for you as well.
Okay.
So kind of like not MLM, but in the sense of like MLM building structure on referrals, because this is a hard program to put out in the social media and on public spaces because of all of the legalities. So I have to be careful how I promote. And so word of mouth and referrals honestly has been 90% of my client base in the last 4 years. So yeah, that definitely is an option if you're interested in that, Kathy.
Sure.
And we can work out the payment situation, you know, make it feasible.
I have to go. Nice to meet you,
Oh, nice to meet you too. Who is that that said that?
Lindsay.
Oh,
the
Lindsay, hi, Lindsay.
The muralist in Hawaii, that girl.
Yay! Can't wait. I'm gonna start sending pictures of the walls that need your paintings.
That sounds great to me. Thank you. Jess will give you my info.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, I'll do a quick like appointment setting sheet. I'll text that or email that over to Jess. And Jess, if you can get everybody to sign up on the timeframes that work with them, and then help me coordinate all of that. And the calls will just be on Zoom, one-on-one. And just bring in mind what you feel like you can afford monthly, and just a little bit of a stretch, because you want skin in the game. I don't want you to be like, oh, well, this is no big deal. It's not that expensive. I'm just going to not show up. Like, I want you to, like, it pushes you to show up for yourself in a sense. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else?
I'm back. I should just like I'm ready out on this little air sack over here.
Oh, good. You needed a little break.
I ate a gummy earlier, so it's just kind of like melting into it.
I love it. All right, Jess, I'll get that email over to you. And if you need any help or have any questions, just let me know. And I'll have time set up from Sunday afternoon through Monday night at 9 p.m.
Awesome. Great. Yay.
Yay. Thank you guys. Have an amazing, beautiful day. And thank you, Jess, for creating that beautiful, yummy little womb space there for all your friends. And
Room space.
Amber.
Everybody's giving birth, going out the door, man.
and Amber and Cameron, thank you so much for showing up. And I love your tapestry. Like, oh my God, it's perfect. Psychedelics. Love you guys.
Then Cam, I'm gonna hook up with you and Amber. I'm gonna like send her a message and